What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the FatMike Chicago Sports Show. I am your host, FatMike, just like I am every single week, and I'm happy to be back. I want to give thanks before we get started tonight on tonight's FatMike Chicago Sports Show to all of our amazing sponsors here at 1252 Sports Chicago. We have Nick and Ivy Brewing. We have the Jonathan Darren team over at Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. We have August Doozer. We have Susie Sheehan in the State Farm Agency out in Lockport. Mark Berardi Law, White Oak Farm Venue out in Michigan City, Indiana. We also have the Cupcakery Bakery. Tons of other sponsors. And you guys, without these sponsors, guys, this show is not possible. None of our shows here at 1252 are possible without these amazing sponsors. So, thank you to them. Hats off to those guys. Rock and roll to those guys. And let's get this show on the road. Here we go. You are listening to 1252 Sports Entertainment. Parental discretion may be advised.
Woo! It's about that time. FatMike Chicago Sports. Yeah. Finally here. Shot City Sports is right here. Updates on news, get it here. No rumors, cause we keep it real. FatMike. Sit back, relax, sugar beer one of them nights.
Hey, this is Carmen DeFalco from ESPN Chicago, and you're listening to the Fat Mike Sports Show.
Hey, this is Dave Richard from CBS Sports, and you're listening to the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
Hi, this is Jesse Rogers for the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Merkin, the longtime White Sox beat writer for MLB.com and proud graduate of the University of Michigan. You're listening to me on the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
This is Chuck Arfine, and you are listening to the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. It's the best.
Hey, what's up? This is Greg Braggs Jr. from Braggs in the Stands, and you're listening to my guys on the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. Boom!
Hey everyone, Freddie Huebner from ESPN 1000. Great to be on the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. I'm Dan Zaborski, senior writer for Fangraphs, and you're listening to Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
I'm JJ Stankovich from NBCSportsChicago.com and the Undercenter podcast, and you are listening to the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show.
Hey Sparkle, you know what I listen to? It's the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show with my guy, Fat Mike. If you listen anywhere else, no jock. Listen to Fat Mike. The Fat.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. Today is February 2nd, 2022, and I am really happy to be back. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We got a great show in line for you guys tonight. We got Lester Wiltfong coming on from Windy City Gridiron. We also have my guy, Steve, coming on from Fozzy Football and how this guy reinvented the game of paper football. It's going to be an amazing show, guys. Hopefully you guys stick here. And we're going to be joined by my guy Mike Hughes here too in a little bit. My guy Mike Hughes, our new guy here at 1252. He's going to be talking some football with me and Lester Wiltfong. I cannot wait. It's going to be a great show, guys. But yeah, hey, listen, a lot of stuff going on in today's NFL, not just Bears stuff going on. Did you guys see this stuff with Brian Flores? Oh my word. Can you believe all this stuff? What a crazy mess all this has become over in the last couple of days. Brian Flores is now suing a couple of teams, and I think he has the right to do so. All right. Now let's get real here. Okay. How many black coaches are in the USFL? How many black head coaches are in the XFL? How many black coaches are in college football in the FBS programs? It's 14, guys. 14.8%. And how many black coaches are in today's NFL? One. There is one black coach in today's NFL, which is downright terrible. Because I'm telling you this, I was one of the very first guys. I was one of the very first guys once I found out Brian Flores was gone from the Miami Dolphins. He was the guy that I wanted on our team, 100%. I wanted Brian Flores. If there was any defensive head coach that you were going to go after, it was Brian Flores, in my opinion, not Matt Eberflus. All right. I wanted to see Brian Flores because this guy can turn around a fucking team. This guy can turn around a team. Look at what he did down there in Miami. Unbelievable. 10-6 his first season, 9-8 this season. After they started this season 1-7. Are you absolutely kidding me? Are you kidding me? Brian Flores is a major game changer in today's NFL. All right. Now, like I said, there are 14 black head coaches in today's FBS programs in college football and collegiate football. 14. That equals down to 14.8%. So that's what? There's 99 FBS programs. You got to be kidding me. What? There are so many. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, purple, yellow, green, fucking yellow. I don't care what color you are. You know how to coach a team in the NFL. You know how to coach a team. You know how to coach football. You're the guy I want as my head coach. Plain and simple. You're the guy I want. All right. Matt Eberflus, completely unproven. Who knows what's going to happen here? I hope for the best. I have my fingers crossed for the best for my Chicago Bears. I really, truly do. But who knows what's going to happen? But Brian Flores is getting a wrong deal here. He's getting a raw deal. He really, truly, truly is. For what he had to deal with the last 2 years in that shit organization in the Miami Dolphins it absolutely blows my mind. It really does. And I'm not one that's outspeaks about this stuff and stuff like that. I'm not a guy that goes out of my way to speak about stuff like this because it's a touchy subject. But right now, this is a matter of right and wrong, and this is completely wrong. This guy has a resume that you can build off of, that you can put and plug into a program and immediately make them a better coached team. It truly, truly is. I got a couple comments already here tonight. We got Troy Polamalu. Fire Eberflus. Yeah. Well, Troy Polamalu, if you spelled it right, maybe I'd give you the credit, but you totally butchered that one, my buddy. And then hashtag trade fields by the ultimate troll, Troy Polamalu. But I mean, it's ridiculous, guys. It truly, truly is. Brian Flores, what he did down there in Miami is not only that. Let's take this year out of the equation. Now, let's take this year out of the equation, and we're going to bounce back to this here in a minute. But what he did last year, bouncing back and forth between Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua Tagovailoa. All right, that's a tongue twister for me, man. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of letters. The guy has every letter in his alphabet in his name, and all the vowels. He has every single one of the vowels. I'm pretty sure in his name. There's an O. There's an A. There's no E. I don't think. Is there an I? There might be an I. Who knows? But yeah, he's terrible for a spelling bee. Let me tell you. But anyways, last year bouncing back and forth between Ryan Fitzpatrick and between Tua. I'm not even going to try to butcher his last name again. Was absolutely amazing, and that team was one of those squeaky good teams that could just. It was a team that you didn't want to see. They were dumb and young enough to get things done, and it was a scary team at times for a bunch of these big programs. Now, this year, let's bounce to this year. There's reports out there, there's this text chain between him and Bill Belichick, where Bill Belichick completely screws up this entire text thing, thinking he's talking to Brian Daboll just 4 days before he interviews. 4 days before Flores interviews. What a train wreck. What is going on here? It's the Rooney Rule. I mean, that's why these teams are doing this, and it's sad. It's sad. They should, no matter what it is, like I said earlier, you take the best guy who's available, plain and simple. I don't care what color you are, black, brown, white, yellow, gray, blue. I don't care. I don't care. You hire the guy who's meant to fit your system, who's the best candidate out there. That's what you want for your NFL franchise. And I think, personally, Brian Flores was the guy I wanted the Bears to go see. I know that's the guy that I wanted the Bears to interview. That's the guy that I wanted the Bears to hire. But that's water under the bridge at this point. This whole text chain thing where Bill Belichick texts him and is like, hey, man, good luck. Hey, congratulations on the job. Huh? Fake news. Huh? Are you kidding me? What are you doing? We got a question here from the chat from Facebook user. Guys, really quick. A lot of you guys on Facebook, I don't get a chance to really see your names. Please go like and subscribe to the 1252 Sports YouTube to where I can see who the hell you guys are, because it makes me feel like I'm actually talking to somebody instead of a robot, and I can actually call you guys out by your name while you guys are on the show with me. Question is from this Facebook user, says, do you feel Poles had an obligation to interview Flores or hire a black coach considering what's going on? I don't think he was forced or had an obligation. I think what you have to do is you have to admit by the Rooney Rule, all right, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. You should give every organization should be equal opportunity employer, guys. It doesn't matter if it's me. It doesn't matter if it's my buddy Mikey who's black down the street. It doesn't matter if it's my guy JB. If it doesn't matter if it's my guy Terrence over at CCP. It doesn't matter who it is. All right. Everybody should have the opportunity to interview if you want to interview them. All right. That's exactly what I'm saying. You got to do this. This is bullshit. It doesn't matter. This is the problem with today's NFL. It's like they're scared to hire a black coach. It's crazy to me. It does. I don't get it. I really don't get it. We've seen success out of black coaches. All right, we've seen a bunch of Mike Tomlin. The fucking guy's never lost in a season. We've had Tony Dungy win a Super Bowl. Denny Green was a predominant NFL coach for a long time. Herm Edwards, another black coach, great resume in the NFL. So why is the NFL so scared to hire a black coach today? And that still blows my mind. I don't understand it. And I guess that was my guy, JB. JB, sorry about that, brother. My guy, JB. I love this guy. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing that I'm saying. We got to get on top of this. We have to be on top of this in today's society. We have to be on top of it. And it's mind-boggling to me that the NFL and its standards now, as it sits now, isn't on top of it as well. They did another comment here. They did Flores dirty, and I was surprised by the Flu's hiring. Now, though, I'm all in with Flu and the hire the Bears are making. Yes, the Bears made a couple really good hires here. My guy, Adam Perdomo. What's up, Mike? Much love, brother. Adam, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Bears made a couple big splash signings. They hired a defensive coordinator today, Alan Williams out of Indianapolis. Safety, he's a safeties coach. God knows we need help there, boys. I mean, everybody knows we need help at the safety position because Eddie Jackson ain't cutting it. Eddie Jackson couldn't cut cheese, couldn't cut fucking paper, couldn't cut a fart in the wind. He's not cutting it. So hopefully that secures up our secondary a little bit and he can teach our secondary how to tackle and, maybe play man up on a guy, maybe go attack the ball. If you can't make a play on it, attack the ball at least. We also got Tyke Tober. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Tyke Tober out of wide receivers coach, passing game coordinator that we hired today. Could be a good thing. Let's see what happens. We have no wide receivers. Let's see what's going on here. And my guy, Paul Ivnick, a great guy here. Guys, listen, Paul Ivnick is the owner of Nick and Ivy Brewing Company out in Lockport, Illinois. Giving him a shout out really quick. Has Bieniemy be interviewed at all? Well, Bieniemy requested not to be interviewed until after the season. So as of right now, he was still coaching as of last week. I don't know if he's conducted any interviews so far. It's only been, 3 days since they've lost last week to the Bengals. Who they? That was a great game, by the way. We're going to touch base on that, too. But I know Bieniemy requested not to be scheduled for an interview until after they were either after the Super Bowl, if they made it to the Super Bowl, or if they were completely eliminated out, stand by. So, my guy, Pig Dog, how you doing, guy? Pig Dog, I love this guy. He's always in here. He's another one of my diehards. Fat Mike, how you doing? Great show as always. Got any Super Bowl prop bets you're gonna play? Oh boy, you don't want my take on it, buddy. Pig Dog, you don't want my take on it. I'm going with the Bengals money line. I've been riding the Bengals all year long, and I've been shitting the bed on that bet all year. If you want to listen to a guy who knows the bets, go to Friday Night with Harry the Greek. He knows he's got all your bets for you, Pig Dog. He's got all your bets. But yeah, Tyke Tolbert, wide receivers coach, passing game coordinator. Let's see what happens here. He's limited with what he has here. Right now, that's all we have is Darnell Mooney. I assume that the Chicago Bears are going to lose Allen Robinson this year. There's no way he's going to stay a Chicago Bear, guys. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I don't believe it. I think he's going to go someplace where he can actually play with a fucking quarterback. All right. This guy in his entire career, I was thinking about this the other day, and I've talked with a bunch of people about this. Guys, sit back and think about the quarterbacks that Allen Robinson has had throwing him the ball since the start of his career. That is absolutely terrible. The quarterbacks that he has had throwing him the ball have not been good. The best one out of all of them, and this may be being Chicago biased here, is probably Justin Fields. And that was at a limited time this year, at a limited clip this year, because Allen Robinson had COVID. It was banged up a little bit, came back looking like I'm not going to say it, but he came back looking underweight. But yeah, I mean, he lost like 20 pounds during COVID. He did not look good. He did not look healthy. He's got Darnell Mooney is what he has. That's what he has. All these reports now for the Chicago Bears, I guess they're really hot on Calvin Ridley, and that's great. Hey, listen, I like Calvin Ridley just as much as the next dude. But you go out and get Calvin Ridley, you're strapped at 5'10" wide receivers across the board between him and Darnell Mooney. And then all the two other little guys that you got, if you want to re-sign those guys, in Bird and help me out, guys. Somebody in the chat, help me out. Who's the other guy? But yeah, I mean, you're strapped. You got little guys. You got little guys. You guys need a big guy. You need a big guy. Now, like I said earlier in the year, there are some big name free agent wide receivers. You got Mike Williams. Mike Williams, that's a big man. That guy is a big man. I like him. Chris Godwin. Paul brings up Chris Godwin. Another dude shows out that injury. Let's see what happens with Chris Godwin. I like Chris Godwin a lot, but I think he stays down there in Tampa. Honestly, I do. I think he likes the warm weather, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen this offseason? All I know is no matter what you do, the Chicago Bears are structured this year to completely overpay in free agency on the needs they have because they're so limited in what they have in draft capital. And that's legit. I mean, it is what it is. You have no number one. You have one number two. You have one number three, possibly two number threes if and when you lose Allen Robinson. Okay. Oh, Goodwin. Yeah, Goodwin. Paul, Goodwin. Yeah, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Paul brings up Goodwin. Yeah, that's the other guy. Thank you. All right, so yeah. So a bunch of little guys. You got a bunch of little guys. But, all right, with the way that the Bears are structured right now, you got, like I said, you got one number two. You got one number three. If you lose Allen Robinson, you get another number three in a compensatory pick for him leaving. All right, you have 0-4. I want to say you have 2 5s and a 6, no 7. What can you actually find? Now, a couple weeks ago, I said there was reports all this kid. Now, my buddy Paul, again, I don't mean to keep on, blowing this dude here. But my buddy Paul, this guy has made me an Arkansas football fan over the last 7 months. I swear to Christ. I swear to God. And when I watch this team, they got this kid down there named Treylon Burks. This kid is an absolute moose. This kid is DK Metcalf 2.0, but with better route running. DK Metcalf just can go in a straight line or go like this in a slant. That's all DK Metcalf can do. He's not a great route runner. He's fast as shit. He's big as hell. Yeah, for sure. Treylon Burks is the name that you're going to see in this draft be the number one wide receiver off the board. Mark my words today at February 2nd, 2022, 7:18. Treylon Burks will be the very first wide receiver off the board in this year's draft in the first round. The kid is unbelievable. He is unreal. Lightning quick, strong off the ball, wicked hands, great route running, and he just beats you. I mean, he beats up opposing cornerbacks. And that's what you want to see out of a wide receiver. There is no physicality anymore at the wide receiver position. There are no more guys like T.O. where he would whoop your ass at the line of scrimmage, whoop your ass if you were playing man. He would drain you. Guys like Chris Carter would drain you throughout the game. DK Metcalf is on that point now where he's starting to become a little more physical. And it's about time because he has that big frame to do so. There's a lot of good guys out there. Deebo Samuel. Again, my buddy Adam Perdomo chiming in. Adam Perdomo. He's like a mini Deebo. He's bigger than Deebo. Deebo's only like 6'1". This Treylon Burks kid is a monster. He's a truck. Try stopping this kid. I'm telling you, this kid's going to be unbelievable. He's not your prototype wide receiver like you see in today's game, like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson or guys of that nature, or Mike Evans or Keelan Allen. He's not that prototypical wide receiver where it's great routing. This kid's the whole package. He's big. He's strong. He's going to fight after yards, just like Deebo Samuel does. But Deebo Samuel, that dude's a Swiss Army knife. He's absolutely ridiculous. But not only that, the Bears made another big hire the other day, finally hiring an offensive coordinator. Some people hate it. Some people like it. Luke Jetsy, whatever the hell you want to call him. I've heard his name pronounced both ways, out of the Green Bay Packers organization. He was the quarterback's coach. And I guess from all the reports that I've been reading, Aaron Rodgers, boo-hoo, who gives a shit about Aaron Rodgers? All right, but Aaron Rodgers is not happy that he lost Luke Jetsy. And we're going to touch base on that a little bit later when we have Lester on. Again, we got the Windy City Gridiron game coming on here tonight with my guy, Lester Wiltfong. It's going to be a lot of fun talking all these Bears moves and what he expects the Bears to do in this upcoming offseason, what he thinks about these coaches. I got some questions for him tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But let's see what happens here. I'm just happy. I saw a report the other day that Joe Brady was going to interview for the offensive coordinator position here in Chicago. When I saw that, I wanted to vomit. I was like, oh, good God, no. Good God, no. I did not want to see him interview or even come close to the Bears organization, because that seems like a typical Bears move in hiring that guy. I do not want to see that guy at all. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Again, my buddy Paul chimes in. Arkansas basketball now is whooping that ass tonight again, too. Anna Perdomo coming on in here. He's like, for Arnold not to know who was Debo was disrespectful. What, for Arnold not to know who Debo was disrespectful? Arnold who? Schwarzenegger? I don't know. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We got to see what happens in the offseason. Now I'm getting to that offseason mode where I can start breaking down guys in college football, where I can see the Bears pick at number 39. What's going to happen here? It's going to be a lot of fun for me anyways. And it's going to put me on a I know what you meant. Darnold, I know what you meant, Adam. Don't worry about it. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun for me. It's going to cause me a lot of heartache. It's going to cause me a lot of headache because the Bears pick at 39, second round. 7 picks off the top of the second round, and it's going to be tough. We're all going to sit there and be like, we want that guy. And we all know what's going to happen. It's going to be the same old Bears probably. They're going to pick some shithead out of Notre Dame, and we're all going to be miserable about it, just like I was miserable about when they picked Cole Kmet, because I still think Cole Kmet could catch a cold if he tried. All right? That's plain and simple. I don't think Cole Kmet has any hands. I think he's playing out there with 2 nubs is what I think he's out there. 2 center blocks his hands. He's terrible. Everything's here. He catches it with his body. Use your hands. You're a tight end. Use your hands for something, whether it be blocking or catching. Do something with those hands. They're a part of your body. What are you doing? Cole Kmet? Figure it out. We want you to be again, we've heard that comparison. He's going to be Baby Gronk. He's going to be no, he's not. He's not. He's not that guy. So, guys, really quick before we get into our interviews tonight, again, I'm really excited to bring on Lester Wiltfong. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we also got, man, this guy recreated paper football. And I can't wait to talk to him either. It's going to be a lot of fun. But really quick, a couple word from our sponsors, guys. Again, we couldn't do this without these guys, and we will be back in just a moment.
Hello, this is Paul from Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. We are located at 1026 South State Street in historic downtown Lockport, Illinois. We are very excited to be partnering up with the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show, as well as the 1252 brand, because we are one of the few Chicagoland breweries that embrace sports and sports culture. Come in for a fresh brewed beer made right here in Lockport while catching the game of your favorite team. Stay for the live music that we have booked every weekend, or just come for a cozy atmosphere to enjoy a good conversation with a friend, loved one, or complete stranger. Nick and Ivy makes you feel right at home no matter what the occasion is. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching for Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. Visit our website for our up-to-date tap list or to go shopping on our online store at nickivybrewing.com. That's Nikivy brewing.com. Come in today for a fresh brewed beer born and raised in Lockport, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Darren, licensed real estate broker with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group in Homer Glen. Are you looking to buy or sell? Have you been disappointed in the past? The Jonathan Darren team with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group focuses on providing you with a concierge level of service during the process of buying or selling. We are a service-oriented team with a fresh and professional approach to selling real estate. Our goal is to combine knowledge, skills, and passion to exceed our clients' expectations, and most of all, we truly care. We are a knowledgeable real estate team focused on offering expertise and innovative solutions for our clients. The Jonathan Darren team has 5 full-service real estate brokers and a dedicated full-time marketer servicing all of Chicagoland. We will customize a detailed plan around your timeline for a sale, purchase, investment, estate, or other needs. Real estate transactions can be stressful, but don't need to be. Let us handle it for you. Visit our website, homesbyjdt.com, or call 708-308-1938 today. Expect better in real estate. Choose the Jonathan Darren team.
All right, guys, and we're back. Thank you so much from the Nick and Ivy. My buddy Paul, Nick and Ivy Brewery down in downtown Lockport. A lot of fun, a lot of great beer. They come out with a bunch of beer releases all the time. My favorite one's the Fat Mike, just so you guys know. They got a Fat Mike beer. They also got a Huebner there that's pretty damn delicious as well. They also got the 1853 is really, really, really good. They got the Snow Oasis is back. That's one of my favorites. It's one of those beers that really warms up your tummy on a cold day like today. You can just sit there and drink them. I don't know. For me, it usually takes about 15 to 24 of them. But for you, you little tykes out there, you probably only handle a 4-pack or an 8-pack or so. But go get yourself a bunch of them, because today was a perfect day to sit there and just watch it snow all day. Up here in Chicago, we got a shit ton of snow. And it was one of those days where Snow Oasis would have went really good today watching the snow. But all right, my guy here, Troy Polamalu, the best troll in the business. This guy, I don't know. This guy is all over the place. I don't know how this guy finds the time to come on all these goddamn shows, but he's all over the place. Washington Commandos 2023 Super Bowl champs. All right, I'm glad he brought this up because this is hysterical. The Commandos is such a lame ass name. And there's so much more that I want to say about that. All right, like it's such a lame name. I could say so many other words about that. The Washington Commandos? What is that? What is that? It's like, what, nobody in Washington wears underwear? And like what's going on? Washington Commando? I mean, I go commando from time to time. I go commando all the time. And it's the best way to go for a fat guy. You have underwear, it's really, really, it bunches up. It's like you're walking around with a wet sock in the middle of your legs all day. It's terrible. It sucks. But the Commandos, the one thing I really liked about the Washington football team, it brought a sense of tradition. I liked that. I liked that name. The Washington football team was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. Commandos, Commanders, doesn't matter what the hell it is, Troy. Whatever it is, it's stupid. All right. It brought a sense of nostalgia to an organization that didn't have any when they're in the mix of all this BS they got going on out there with Dan Snyder and there's a bunch of sexual assault things with him. And, it was just something different where I really liked the name of the Washington football team. I like calling them like the WFT and always mistyping it and saying WTF. Instead of, I liked that. They should have just kept it alone. I liked the number. I liked the number on the side of the helmet. It looked old school. It was traditional. It was something cool. They should have just stuck with it. But if there was a What's Up Mike's can, like what Fred does, like What's Up Fred's can, that would be my What's Up Mike's can today. But I'm not going to steal Fred's stuff. Fred's good to go. All right, we got our Roger Shoe coming in here. Hey, Mike, great show. What's up, Roger? Thanks, man. Thanks for chiming in. Again, another guy who's always in on every single one of these 12 to 2 shows. I really do appreciate you guys coming in here each and every single week, chiming in with me. It's a lot of fun talking with you guys. And now, guys, without further ado, I'm bringing on my guy here, Lester Wiltfong from the Windy City Gridiron. You guys got to follow this guy. He is unbelievable. You can follow him at Wilt, WILTFONG Jr. So here he is. Lester, what's going on, my man? How we doing?
What's up, Mike? How's it going?
Oh, man, same shit, different pile. How about yourself?
Yeah. Good.
There we go. Thanks for joining us again. You're a regular on this thing now, man. We just need to get you on over here. We need to pry you away from what you got going on at Windy City Gridiron.
Yeah, I've done this show a few times now. I think the last one I was on was the I know a couple times ago was the big draft show. There was like 7 or 8 of us on the show.
Yeah. There was like 30 of us on there trying to draft what was going on with the Bears. And guess what? We were all wrong. None of us got it right. So
yeah.
All right. So since then, obviously the Bears draft Justin Fields. Yada yada yada. Here we go. I want to start with the Bears stuff over the last couple of days here. The Bears have made a few hires. They hired Alan Williams, the safeties coach out of Indianapolis. How do you feel about Alan Williams? Do you have any prospect on him? What do you think that the Bears hired here?
I mean, he's a 30-year coach. I mean, he's got the experience. Obviously, he's been a defensive coordinator for a couple of years with Minnesota in the Leslie Frazier regime. I mean, those teams weren't very good back then. He's been schooled in this system for a long time. I mean, it's basically for old school Bears fans, it's the Lovie Smith Tampa 2, but it has evolved a lot since then. It's not just the same, 2 deep shell all the time. I mean, even go back what they did back with Lovie, they did a lot of stuff they were disguising coverages. And I mean, that has kept evolving. They do some man stuff, some pattern match stuff now. So he's well schooled in this defense. He's been around it a long time. He's been with Coach Matt Eberflus for a long time. So he knows the defense. I don't think you can look to what he did when in like, what was it, 2012? He was the DC in Minnesota. You can't look the stuff that happened, 10 years ago and say, oh, that's what's going to happen here. Because in Chicago, he's got Khalil Mack, he's got Robert Quinn, he's got Roquan Smith. There's some talent in that front seven that he can work with, and we'll see how they attack the secondary.
Well, obviously, with these hires that they have with Alan Williams, and then now with Matt Eberflus, do you think they stay in the 3-4? I mean, that's what they were running out in Indy, a hybrid of that. Do you think they stay in the 3-4? Do you think they remain in that hybrid like what they transplanted out in Indy?
I mean, it's a hybrid to a point. I mean, it's still how the front. I mean, the reason it looks like a hybrid is because they run so much nickel. I think they're nickel 85% of the time in Indianapolis. I think they led the league in sub packages. So that's going to continue. I mean, it'll probably be a base 4-man front,
Okay.
but it's going to be nickel. It's going to be a lot of nickel. It's going to be a lot of disguise coverages, kind of what we saw here. But I'm excited to say they do it. I mean, it's a more simplified defense than what some teams run. A reason being is because it's all about knowing your keys. If you get a smart defense in there, kind of like what we saw back in the day, they know their spots, they know their role, they know their gaps. It's a tough defense to get yards against. And the Colts, through the whole 4 years he was there, they were top 10 every year. So
right.
If you look at the talent they had, I mean, they're not a lot of Pro Bowlers on those Colts teams. I think they've had maybe 2 or 3 in that whole time there. So, I'm excited to see what they do. It should be fun to kind of see them transition. I've always liked how teams go from one defense to another or one offensive scheme to another. I just kind of like the whole the building aspect of it. I'm curious to see how the whole thing goes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, that's one thing that we've been lacking on the side of the ball. I mean, we've been lacking on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. Now, Alan Williams, like I said, he was the safeties coach out there, and we all know the secondary here in Chicago has been a problem. Do you see now with the hire of Alan Williams, do you see our secondary getting any better? Do you see a big free agent signing between him and Matt Eberflus? A guy like it's gonna bunker my mind. The guy up in Quandre Diggs. Do you see a signing like that?
Yeah, I mean,
something like that in the backfield.
They got to do something because you can't go into a season again with pretty much Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson. I mean, with Eddie Jackson, he's fine. I mean, he may never be the guy he was that year. He was an All-Pro, but if you look at his coverage numbers are solid. Teams still don't throw to him as much as they go attack other guys in a secondary. Think about it. If you're an opposing quarterback, who are you going to throw at? You're going to throw at Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson.
I'm going to throw 10 yards before Eddie Jackson and force him to make a tackle.
There you go. That's all you got to do. Because I'm telling you, he's not going anywhere. He's right. Under contract. He's still valued around the league as a guy that can cover. You may see him used differently. You may see him play some of that nickel stuff. What he did against in the Chuck Pagano scheme, he was up more close to the line of scrimmage because he does have coverage skills. He's not physical. I'll agree with you there. That's something right. That's never been his game. But if he's taking the ball away, nobody cares that he doesn't have a bunch of tackles because he's getting turnovers, he's getting forced fumbles, he's getting recoveries, he's getting touchdowns. That's his game. But you can't go into a season with Kendall Vildor, Duke Shelley, Artie Burns. You got to have an upgrade at nickel and at corner. And Jalen Johnson is going to be solid, but you need to upgrade somewhere, and it's going to come probably through the draft and through free agency.
I hope that you're right, Les. I really hope you're right. Again, I'm sitting here, guys. 12-2 Sports Entertainment, Sports Chicago, 12-2 Sports Chicago, sitting here with Lester Wiltfong from Windy City Gridiron, and it's a pleasure to have him. Another hire today that the Bears made is Tyke Tolbert. They promoted he's up with the wide receivers coach and the passing game coordinator here. Another hire from Indy. Kind of surprising to see, us going so heavy Indy with Matt.
I think he was the Giants his last game.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But the thing with him is he has a background in the Kyle Shanahan offense. So
right.
It really seems like the Bears have a vision for what they want to do. No one has that direct tie where they, or last year they weren't working with him, but they got a lot of guys that have done stuff with him in the past. And there's another guy. I mean, the same with him. The O-line coach had, I think, 5 or 6 years with Shanahan in Atlanta. So they're building a staff that kind of understands those concepts, those schemes. And I'm cool with it because I love that offense.
Right. I mean, listen, New York Giants is a pass-heavy offense. There's a lot of good wide receivers up there over the last couple of years, and Sterling Shepard, and this year adding Kenny Galladay up there in that offense in the mix. There's another little speedy wide receiver up there too, Kadarius Toney, that he shined a few games this past year. He looked pretty good, and I like what I've seen. I think it's a good hire out of the New York Giants. You're right. I had it mixed up. I was sitting there looking at my notes, and the Giants are right next to his name because I wrote it like an idiot. And now we also have another hire a few days ago, yesterday or 2 days ago, Luke Jetsy, quarterback's coach out of Green Bay. What are your thoughts on him, Les? What's going on here? I know there's a couple reports that I've seen that Aaron Rodgers was ready to flip a lid because he missed out. He's missing his quarterback's coach, and now he's a Chicago Bears offensive coordinator. What do you expect to see out of this guy? Are we going to be more a passing offense? What's going on?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, it's 2022. I mean, it's, the days of running the ball all the time is kind of in the past. But I do kind of think with, again, going back to the Shanahan stuff, he didn't work in that offense specifically, but he was in the LaFleur offense, which is a variation of it. Obviously the stuff with the Packers is so much reliant on Aaron Rodgers just being so smart at the line of scrimmage, making checks, making calls, But with a guy like Getsy, he understands the scheme. And then he also came from the, I believe it's Joe Moorhead. It may have been the OC he worked with in the past. And a lot of his concepts are around the NFL as well. A lot of deep shots, play action, a lot of run pass option stuff. So, again, I'm excited to see the roots of the offense is going to be Shanahan-esque. But I'm curious to see how much other stuff they bring with it, because Justin Fields, he wanted to play in this style offense when he was coming into college. I believe he committed to Penn State, which is where Moorhead was originally. When he decided to leave there and go to Georgia to a different kind of offense. So this is an offense that Fields should understand and he should thrive in a little bit.
Just so my listeners know, you're talking Shanahan. Are you talking Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan?
It's the same offense. I mean, it's
exactly
like for me. I'm
only looking at it because I see the message here. It's like I didn't want to bring it up.
For me, I'm old enough to where I remember Mike Shanahan's offense. I loved when he first started doing that. The wide zone, the bootlegs. That was the Denver Broncos, the San Fran 49ers. That's when it really started becoming a thing. And then, of course, his son has it too. The Kubiaks, they run the same exact scheme. So, that offense is around the league quite a bit. It's not just Kyle Shanahan, because now we've seen it with Sean McVay runs a variation of it. LaFleur in Green Bay runs a variation of it. It's a pretty good offense, but it's more than just what we saw the Bears kind of do last year with Mitch Trubisky, where it was a lot of bootleg stuff. There's more stuff off it. You just got to have the right quarterback to run all the variations off it.
Right. Okay. So now with the Shanahan offense, and I want to touch base on this before I move over to my next questions, which are obviously going to be Matty Eberflus and Ryan Poles here. But before we get into that, you're talking Shanahan offense, and you're hoping that we see a lot of that. Now in the Shanahan offenses, we see a lot of runs. We see a great running game that sets up the opens of the play actions, that sets up the big passes to your wide receivers. But a Shanahan offense typically revolves around a running back and a decent tight end that can catch the ball. Is Cole Kmet the guy that can be a tight end that can catch the flipping ball, Les?
He's not Travis Kelce. He's not George Kittle. But I think Cole Kmet's solid enough to be your starting Y tight end. He's not a move guy. He'll be in line. He's still got to work on his blocking a little bit. But we're still talking about a guy who is like the fourth youngest player on the roster last year. He came out of Notre Dame a little early. He's fairly young in his NFL career. Tight ends usually develop a little longer than other positions because they have so much they have to do, and then the season he had last year, I think he had 60 catches. That was the fourth most productive from a tight end in Bears history. So you look at what he did, and it wasn't as sexy and flashy as you hope. There were no touchdowns, which is really pathetic, but again, that's Matt Nagy's offense. That Nagy offense was stagnant. It was putrid. It was just, there was nothing to it. It was just, nothing worked off each other.
Right.
The Shanahan offense, the stuff we've seen them do, a lot of it is window dressing. A lot of it looks the same, but it's different. There's small wrinkles, and I'm excited to see how they put that whole thing together.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to it, Les. I'm gonna have you back again, and I'm gonna be flipping shit one way or the other. You know me. I'm going to snap at something that you said today.
Probably.
In 8 months, I'm going to be snapping. You watch.
Okay. I'm used to it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I just won't come on.
I'll be here. No, I got you.
So now obviously let's go back to the hires here with Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles here. Ryan Poles. I mean, I know you're a young dude. I'm a young dude. He's a couple of years older than I am, but I like the attitude of this kid, man. I really do. I like that he's like, hey, listen, today a report came out. Our offensive line wasn't good enough. Pretty much straight out calling the offensive line out. And I'm 100% in agreement with him. I've been on top of this shit for 4 years. The Bears need an offensive longer than that. Since they drafted Mitch Trubisky in 2017, I said the Bears need no line. All right, so here we go. Now the GM is actually saying something that I like to hear. It's not this bells and whistles crap. It's not, like you said, window dressing. He's actually admitting to a problem. What do you feel about Ryan Poles? How do you think this kid is doing within the first, less than 2 weeks of his hire?
He's a former offensive lineman himself, so he values the trenches. He's talked about it. He's talked about it several times when he's had a chance to speak publicly. Today he was at the Senior Bowl, and I believe I saw a picture of him, and he was actually down there looking at the O-line. So I mean, he's going to put his money where his mouth is, so to speak. He's talked about it. I think he had that quote was in The Athletic today where he talked about he wants guys that are going to stand up for his quarterback when the quarterback gets knocked down. You do not put up with that. You go over there and you get in the guy's face, and that's Tevin Jenkins. I mean, Tevin Jenkins is the only guy that has that ornery attitude on the Bears O-line right now. So, I think him and Tevin Jenkins, I think that's going to be a good match right there. I think he'll like what he sees there. As far as everyone else, we'll have to wait and see what they do in the offseason.
Do you think the Bears address free agency-wise offensive line, or do you think they wait to try and do something in the draft in the second round?
Yes and yes. I think they're going to have to do both because, I mean, the depth, for some reason, the depth's not there. I mean, there's some pieces you can look at, say, well, they have to take a step. I mean, Alex Bars, Sam Mustipher, they're young players. They've got to get better. I mean, if they don't take a step in the offseason, they may be out of football. So this is what Ryan Pace left. He didn't have a lot of draft picks because he spent so much time trading up. So he was forced to plug his reserve offensive linemen, with guys like Eric Kush, guys that are like veterans, really cheap veterans. A guy like Fetty, who kind of came in on a real cheap deal. That's what he's had to do his whole tenure in Chicago because he hasn't really developed, project money, project draft picks into these old linemen where now you develop them. The guys in the roster now, they're undrafted free agents. Guys like Rashad Coward, guys like, like we talked about Bars and Mustipher. 7th round picks like Lashavia Simmons. He hasn't had these like higher day 3 picks that have some more upside. He's done a lot of gambling when it comes to O-line.
All right. Now let's move on to our head coach here. Again, another product of Indianapolis, Matt Eberflus, defensive coordinator out there. For the first question I want to ask is this: who was the candidate that you wanted to see the Bears hire, and are you happy with the Bears hire and Matt Eberflus?
I didn't really have one clear-cut favorite. There was a bunch of guys I would have been fine with. Matt Eberflus, the guy that I would have been fine with, but there were about 5 guys I would have rather seen the Bears hire over him. But with that being said, he, now that he's here, I've looked into him more. I like the scheme he runs. I understand, where he's coming from. You hear him talk a little bit. You see him kind of in the presser. You kind of look back at some of the stuff he did with the Colts because they did the weren't they in the Hard Knocks for a little bit, so you had a chance to see him, behind the scenes, how he coaches, his coaching style, and it's old school, it's corny, the hits technique, he has all these goofy things, but man, some players gravitate towards that. They love that corny stuff. They eat it up because those are the guys that if it comes from a place of conviction, and when you hear him talk, you tell he really believes it. He's just not saying these things to say them. They're not catchphrases to him. It's how he believes. It's how he coaches. So I'm excited to see what he does with the team.
It's after, like you said, there was a couple of guys that I wish the Bears would have went after besides him.
Same,
but he was on my list where it was like, okay, all right, it's okay. But I think the Bears kind of escaped out a little bit again, like we all know the Chicago Bears do, and they hire the cheapest of the cheap, and they do what they do, and that's exactly how the Chicago Bears organization is ran. Hopefully, this time they get it right. That's what we're all hoping for here in Chicago, is they get it right. Now, I want to get your thoughts on this before I cut you loose, Les. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going around here. It's non-Bears, my friend. It's non-Bears, but it is football. All this stuff that's going on with Brian Flores right now, it's a mess. It's a disaster on both ends. It's a bad look for the NFL. It's a bad look on ownership for all these NFL teams. Man, oh man, what a debacle this is, man. I don't even know what to ask you. There's at the beginning of the show, I started off by saying there is 14 FBS colleges, FBS programs, 14 black head coaches throughout, what's that, 99 point something of them? All right. There's 14 head coaches. That equals 14.8%. And there is only one NFL head coach that is black. What is the problem with today's NFL? What is going on with this? I don't understand.
I mean, it's like it's always been. It's a good old boys club. I mean, it's a bunch of the owners for the most part are white. You know, they're hiring who they know, and you know, a lot of it is just like you know, his son's brother and his uncle coached here, so you know that guy, and you know the spirit of the Rooney Rule is good, but it's not really being used the right way. I mean, the whole point of the Rooney Rule was to get guys opportunities. You know, get guys that normally wouldn't have opportunities because you know they're not on the radar of certain teams.
Right.
Get them in and talk to them, but you know, a lot of teams just use that as a sham. They say, "Oh, we got to get a guy in here of color just to get a quick interview before we hire our guy." And that's looks like what kind of happened in New York with Flores. I mean, I think there might have been a couple other guys there, but a lot of it's done for optics. And there's really no real desire for these guys to hire the guys they don't want to hire. And again, comes down to it's a good old boys club. You guys, as owners, as front office guys, you know who you know. And most of these guys are white, so they know guys that are white. And you know, it's at some point it may change.
Maybe they just kind of stick them with
maybe
what
not in
they
my
know.
maybe
right.
You know, maybe not in my lifetime. I'm a little older, so you know, we'll see what happens.
And one last question before I cut you loose, Les. I mean, this is legit, man. Was Brian Flores on your list that you wanted as a Bears hire for head coach?
Yeah, I would have been fine with Flores. I thought what he did last year in Miami was great.
Unbelievable.
I thought he had things turned around there. I mean, that team was 1-7.
They started 1-7 and won 7 in a row.
You know, and you know, he had quarterback issues as well. You know, but then of course, as soon as he's fired, a lot of weird stuff leaks out about how he was with the front office, how his quarterback situation, but then the players back him. So, you know, you kind of realize that's just some spin control. So, I mean, I hope he gets another shot in the NFL. You know, I kind of think that
I would take him in a second, man. There's a bunch of teams out there that need a head coach with some balls.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of teams out there in the NFL right now that need a head coach that's a no tolerance, no bullshit coach.
He's kind of an asshole, right?
And that's fine. That's exactly what I want in my head coach.
Exactly.
That's exactly. I want Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin, I mean, listen, look at him. Look at Bill Belichick. These guys, one white, one black. Both of them fucking hate the media.
Yeah.
Hate the media. It's one word answers all the time. They don't give a shit what's going on throughout the interview, throughout their presser, throughout their post game, throughout their pregame. They don't care. They're there to win a football game. They're not there to talk. All right, they're there to win. And that's one thing that Brian Flores, that's one thing I love about that guy. And I hope that guy gets his chance, man, because I think that guy is a great NFL head coach.
Yeah, I think he deserves another chance. And but you know, like we've seen through the years, you know, a lot of times, you know, people of color are fired a little too quick. And they don't get the second gig as quick as others do. So we'll see what happens. I hope he does. I think he deserves it, you know, but time will tell on that one.
Shame, Les. It's a damn shame. Les, before we let you go, tell us where we can find you, my friend. How can we get in contact with you? How can we listen to you? How can we see what you're wearing, what you're eating for dinner? Let's how do we do that? What's your Skype password? What do we got here?
You can catch me on WindyCityGridiron.com. We also got a podcast channel. Right now, we actually got two or three of our guys down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. So they just did a update last night. They'll do one tonight at some point. I'm also on Twitter at Wiltfong Jr.
Our guy really quick has a quick one for you. Now that you were talking to the Senior Bowl, he says, "Hey, this guy is the biggest troll in the world. Poles was at the Senior Bowl looking for better QBs. This guy, I tell you, man, he's the best troll on StreamYard. I'm telling you,
you know,
he's unbelievable.
The Bears, they didn't come out and say it, but their actions speak louder than words. They're all in on Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Justin Fields is a nice long career ahead of him. Hopefully, it'll be this offensive coordinator and Luke Getsy, whatever the hell you want to call him.
I like Jetsy. Is that Jetsy or is it Getsy?
I don't know. It's either way. I like it. Hopefully,
it'd be cool if it was Jetsy.
Jetsy offense. The Jetsy offense. It kind of has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I see. Jetting it. That's
it is.
going.
Nice.
And have like a picture of a jet with a bear on it, and high flying footballs going for touchdowns.
You're ready. You're always thinking.
See,
the
listen,
memes are popping. Yeah, you're ready.
I'm an idea man, Les. I'm an idea man. All right, Les, thank you so much for hopping on with us, my friend. We will get you back coming soon, my friend. Study up on the draft because I'm going to have you right before the draft again, my friend.
Sounds good. Take it easy.
I'll talk to you later, Les. You take care. Lester Wiltfong from the Windy City Gridiron. This guy is awesome. Make sure you guys follow him because the guy is absolutely unbelievable. His show on the Windy City Gridiron is great. Always talking Bears. Always talking. He came ready to rock and roll tonight on all these coaching hires. He's done his research. He always does this stuff. I had to fuck up tonight, not him. I had to fuck up with Tyke Tolbert. I'm sitting here. I got the giant. I got the Colts written next to his name. And no, that's not it. That's my mess up. So really quick, guys, before we get into our next interview with my guy, Steve Braun from Fozzy Football, which I'm really, really excited to bring on. He's going to tell you about this awesome game. He completely reinvented paper football, a game that we all played in detention, a game that we all got detentions for. And now we're grown-ups and we can still play this game having a few beers. Before we do this, I want to play a few more words from a couple of our sponsors because without them, guys, we cannot do this show. So stay tuned for another great interview with Steve Braun. We will be right back. Hey, Susie, thanks for hooking me up with the Fat Mike markdown on my insurance rates at State Farm. This is awesome.
No, Mike. The Fat Mike markdown is not a real thing.
I don't believe that for a second. Let me repay you the favor and tell you and all my friends about the Fat Mike markdown.
Okay, well, that's just fine considering that State Farm just gives everyone surprisingly great rates.
You heard it here first, folks. So give Susie Sheehan over at State Farm Agency a call and ask for the Fat Mike markdown. It's the best.
For the real deal, give us a call at 815-306-0184 or go to SusieSheehan.com to request a quote. My team at the Susie Sheehan Agency is here to help with all of your insurance needs for auto, home, and life, and we service Illinois and Indiana. Also, if you mention the Fat Mike markdown, $10 will be donated to a local charitable organization through our Quotes for Good program in your name. Remember, that's 815-306-0184 or SusieSheehan.com. Thanks so much.
Get on it, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
My name is August O'Neill Doozer, and I am running for the 37th State Rep, which incorporates New Lenox, Mokina, Lockport, Frankfort, Orland, Tinley, and Homer Glen. I stand for pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-education, pro-police, and pro-vets. I believe that we should have a card for the vets, and they could go for service at any hospital or facility in the state of Illinois because they deserve it. My father and grandfather were Chicago policemen, and you can see them on my website at www.deuser.us. I was a police officer, and I went back to school and became a teacher of students with emotional conditions. I have been on the front line for 30 years. We need to change the culture of politics in Illinois. If you elect me, I will do my best to change the culture. I have integrity going into the job and can't be persuaded to follow the status quo. Visit my website at www.deuser.us.
Real estate is hot right now, and you need an attorney to handle all of this. My guy, Mark Berardi, does this all day long. He's a straight shooter. There's no fancy language. He's just to the point. And he and his team get the deal done. There's no BS. He also does estate planning, trusts, wills, and power of attorney. He has great reviews up and down the board from a ton of happy clients. For him and his big team, they're all just down to earth and normal people as much as he is. You will not be disappointed you went with him. He's located in Homer Glen and New Lenox and handles real estate all over Illinois. There's no place too far, so give him a call today at 708-942-8030. Again, that's 708-942-8030, or look him up online at Mark Berardi and Associates. All right, and we're back, and I'm really excited. Thank you again to our sponsors here, Mark Berardi Law. We got Susie Sheehan and August Doozer. Thank you guys so much, because again, like I said, guys, I know you guys get really tired of me saying this. Without these sponsors, guys, we cannot do this at 1252 That's why we have them. So thank you to our sponsors. You guys are amazing. And now I'm getting ready to bring on a guy that I've been really excited and really trying to get this guy in over the last couple of weeks. Hasn't really happened because he's been busy. I've been busy. Let's bring him on. Steve Braun, Fozzy Football. What's going on, Steve? How we doing, my friend?
Mike, what's going on? Yeah.
What's going on, dude? So you got this really kick-ass game, man. You got this really amazing game that you literally reinvented paper football. So give us a little bit of feedback on what you got going on here at Fozzy Football, because I know a couple of people that have been playing this game, but I want you to tell everybody what this game is.
All right. So maybe I should start from the beginning.
Yes, start from the beginning.
So I'm traveling on business, and I have a colleague who wants to play paper football, and he tells me he folds up a piece of paper and he says, go ahead and make the goalpost, right? And I said, wait a second, that's not how you play paper football. You got to slide the paper football across the table, and if it hangs off the edge, that's a touchdown.
Right.
Then you kick your extra point. And he had never played football that way before, so we played a little bit, just messing around. I was traveling on business. I'm falling asleep in my hotel room that night, and I literally sit up in bed and I say, I can make paper football better. So that next morning, I started working on some targets, so you can move your line of scrimmage down the field. We've got interceptions, fumbles, we got penalties. I mean, everything that can happen in a game of football is in the game of Fozzy Football.
That's excellent, man. That's excellent. So, I mean, you've been doing this now. You created this game how long ago, Steve?
So it's been about a year and a half in production. So I have a website, www.fozzyfootball.com. So you can visit it there, find out a little bit more about the game, see some pictures, things like that.
Right, of course.
Initially, when I first started the company, I was just focused on the what I'll call the original design. But since that time, I've actually acquired 24 collegiate NCAA licenses. So we've got 24 schools that are in our portfolio now for licensed.
That's excellent. That was actually going to be my next question. I was going to say, you got a couple where you have designed boards of actual collegiate teams. What are some of those collegiate teams that you have signed up, Steve?
Well, so our big guys are LSU. We've got Virginia Tech. Obviously Michigan State is another big school. And then we got some on the West Coast, Utah, San Diego State. And like I said, 24 in total. And I'm working on them all the time. In fact, I've got right now another 20 schools that are pending decisions. So we'll see what happens. The big schools like your Texas A&M, your Alabama, Ohio State, they've all said no, but that's only because I'm so new in the business. Right. That they want to see some experience with them. You'll get them where they give you a chance.
You'll get them. And like I said, a couple of my buddies were playing this game at actually a chili cook-off. They have one of your games. They were playing it at a chili cook-off, and they're like, dude, this game is unbelievable. This game is so much fun. We got to get this going. Like this, we got to get this going. And this is after I had talked to you, Steve. And when I said that you and I were talking, it just came out of chance. I was flipping through Facebook one night, hanging out, watching TV with the wife. And I'm like, what is this? And I watched a video and I was like, this is unbelievable. I really love it. So what made you, what were the ideas of where you were putting in like penalties and fumbles and stuff like that? Were you just trying to make it as real as possible, or?
So, I mean, quite literally, this game plays exactly like a game of NFL or NCAA football. Everything that can happen in the actual game can happen on the game field. It's played shuffleboard style, and I got the game in front of me so I can show it to you.
Yes, please. When you get a chance, yeah.
Hey, you want to help me here? We'll back this up and show you the game board, and then what that looks like. Let's see.
Yeah, let me zoom in too. I'll zoom in on you.
So, are you able to see it there?
Yeah. We got you on full screen here, man. So all you guys that are watching right now, check this thing out. This thing's unbelievable. He's got a home and away with all these, the touchdown and all these other different graphics here. Fumble, penalty, first down. I see. 10-yard run, 2-yard run. And so like you just flick it. Now, is it a magnet based or is it shuffleboarded?
Well, it's shuffleboard. So there's the puck right there. And the nice thing about the puck is it has a crosshair in the dead center of the puck. Yeah. And so that crosshair is going to tell you exactly what your result is.
That's excellent. I like how you hired a hand model to do this.
Yeah. This is my daughter. But there we go. Okay. So let's get this set up here. There we go. And we'll show you a quick set of downs. There's an app, which is the magic behind this whole thing. The app is what keeps track of everything that happens in the game. Your down, your distance, your field position. The app's a free download from either Apple or Android store. And all you do is download the app. You're up and running in 30 seconds. You launch a new game. And here we go.
That is unbelievable. That is so cool.
All right. So I've got the puck, and I'm aiming for either the pass targets over here or the run targets over there. All I do is I slide my puck. I'm going to aim for a pass. And what did I get?
You got the 12-yard pass.
So all I do is hit the button that says plus 12, and it moves my line of scrimmage up the field. And
that is so awesome. Guys, if you really quick, Steve, I'm sorry. If you guys that are in the chat room and stuff like that, if you guys please make sure that you guys are watching this, because this is unbelievable. This game is so fun. I hope you guys aren't just listening on audio. I hope that you guys are really watching this, because this game is so kick-ass. All right, go ahead again, Steve. I'm sorry.
Well, I've got it connected over here to a wireless speaker.
Yes, sir.
And there is an announcer on the app that is basically a play-by-play announcer for everything that happens on the field.
If it's Chris Collinsworth, I'm kicking you off the show.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's actually believe it or not. All right, so looks like I got a penalty.
Yeah, -5.
I got a false start, -5. I'm going to back my line of scrimmage up.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Right.
That's so cool, man.
At the 32. So I'm going to go back to the pass side, and I'm just off the back. Now, like I said, in paper football, if I would have gotten a hanger where it hangs off the back edge like this, that would be a touchdown no matter where my line of scrimmage is. But it actually wound up in the trough. If it's in the trough, that's incomplete. That's not a good thing. So I hit pass incomplete.
Misses the receiver. 2nd and 15.
So now I'm 2nd and long. I got to get a big pass play. And I'm incomplete once again. So that's going to leave a 3rd down.
Pass attempt. Misses the receiver. 3rd and 15.
There's a big play right here. It's a 20-yarder. That's what I'm going to go for. And I missed it, so I'm going to have to punt.
It's incomplete.
So now is there a punt option? Do you have to roll the thing to punt?
Right, so these are your punt targets here.
Okay.
The center circle is a 60-yard punt. Then you got your 50, your 40, and the worst punt possible is a 30-yarder.
Okay.
So here I go. It looks like I got a 50-yard punt. So I hit plus 50.
Punt of 50.
And now it's her ball. She's at the 18-yard line.
18-yard line.
All right. So here
That's
she
so
goes.
cool, man. This is so cool.
She just picked up 2 yards. So we hit the button that says plus 2.
Pushes forward.
2nd and 8 at the 20.
Brings up 2nd down.
And she got a 16-yard pass. So that's a big first down for her.
That seems like her offense is better than your offense, Steve.
The
nice thing about the game is that you get some nail biter finishes.
Well, yeah.
That's incomplete.
And to throw it away.
It's got field goals.
And 10.
Like I said, the turnovers are interceptions and fumbles. She got a 12-yard pass, so she's moving the line of scrimmage nicely.
Pass over the middle, good for
She's now at the 48-yard line.
It's a new set of downs.
And she got 6 more.
So now, Steve, I see that you guys each have 3 little guys off to the side on the sideline there. What are those guys in juncture for?
Great question. So when you get to be better at the game, that's when defense comes into play. So right now there's it's basically an open field, but as you get to be a better, more skilled player, I can add defense to the mix, and now it's going to be a lot more difficult for her to get through there. So there she goes. She's still got a 2-yard run, but I'm
so
taking
cool.
away all the big targets for her over here. So she got 2 more, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd down.
That is so cool. So now to make the puck slide, is there a sand that goes on the board or a special wax or what goes on the board to make the puck slide?
So this is Sunglow silicone spray for shuffleboards. All you do is you spray a little bit of this on a paper towel, wipe it down, and that's what keeps the game surface slick.
That's awesome. And how big is the game, Steve?
This is a coffee table size. So in total, it's 39 inches long by about 20 inches wide.
So it's not something super tight to where it's really hard to get it in, and it's not something super like tight knit to where it's hard to slide the puck to where you need it to slide.
No, it's actually, I would say, perfect sized for the game. And there's been a lot of iterations that I went through in order to figure out exactly what the nice size for, this, which I refer to as the tailgate version. But yeah, this is what we wound up with. The size of the run targets, the pass targets, all of your penalties really works out. So the gameplay, which is the most important thing, is true to the form of a real NFL or NCAA game.
This is awesome, man. I love this. And like I said, I remember talking to you about it. I was like, man, this is something really, really cool. I like what you got going on here. It seems like a lot of fun. I was watching the video of it. I was like, man, this is so much cooler than the regular paper football game because you don't get a paper cut. You know what I mean? You just get to there and slide a puck around. So
Right.
Steve, when have you been approached? Have you been approaching NFL teams about this?
So in terms of NFL licensing, I'm a little too small for that. Like I said, we're just getting started, and this is still a grassroots bootstrapped effort. And right now, the tailgate's the only version that I have. And all of the profits that I'm making from sales of these games are going back into reinvesting in the company for us to grow.
Right.
At some point in time, that might include NFL licensing, but right now they're a little bit out of reach in terms of the expense.
So you said you've been doing this for about a year and a half, right?
Yep.
What did you do before this, Steve?
Well, I still have a day job.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah. This is my side hustle right now. I would love for it to be, my primetime gig, but I still I do project management and technology, which is probably why I was able to put together the app and
the kick-ass little app that you got going there. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. See, you're a smart guy. Obviously, you're a little bit older than I am. I can't even understand how to work my phone to check an email.
Yeah,
you're making apps for a game that I have no idea how to play. It's
right.
It's awesome.
There are some things that are cool that are coming. Like right now, the game is fantastic as it stands.
Right.
But the nice thing, the fact that it's got a mobile app tied to it, right now, there's nothing stopping me from keeping track of every single outcome that happens on the game surface. So it should be able to keep track of all of your passing yards, your running yards, interceptions, fumbles, your kicking game, all of that. So at the end of the game, you'll be able to look back and review your stats.
I have a great idea. Steve, I have a great idea. You ready for this? And
Yeah.
I'm going to coin this. I'm going to coin this now, okay? I'm letting you know this right now. All right, here we go. Is there a way on your app that you can set up a bracket, a playoff bracket of the best players in the country and have a Super Bowl with them virtually for $1 million prize?
Yes. Well, so what the stat tracking leads directly into is the ability to assign a player ranking, right? So what I'll be able to do is rank everybody across the nation and then invite just the top ranked players to a tournament, like you're saying. So,
that's awesome.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but
$1 million. You're supplying the $1 million, right, Steve? We're counting on you.
I'll put up the money.
He's putting up the $1 million. You heard it here first, guys, on 12 to 2 Sports, Fat Mike Chicago. Start getting Fozzy Football. He's putting up the $1 million grand prize to see who's going to take home the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Starting next year, starting in 2022 NFL season. We got it. We play each week.
That's right.
Advance each week.
So I do have some guys that are up north. I think they're in North Dakota. Okay. And they're part of a union labor shop that they all come together. There's, I guess, about 100 of them. And they started out with just a single board, and now they're up to 6 boards. And that's what they do at lunch. And they've got brackets and, playoffs and the whole thing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome, Steve. That is fantastic, man. I love what you got going on here with this Fozzy Football. Steve, and I don't mean to cut you short here, man, but how can our guys find this game? How can we order a game? Like I know I've been telling you the next tailgate I go to, which is going to be in a couple of weeks here, I got to bring this game here, man. I have to bring this game here. So
yeah, it's perfect for a tailgate.
How can we get this game? Where do we go to? How do we find this game?
Right. So you can find it on the website. The game's called Fozzy Football. It's right there in the center of the circle. Fozzy Football. And if you go to fozzyfootball.com, we've got a website with all of the products that are available, all 24 of the NCAA licenses, and then the standard board too. The standard board, and this is where, actually, if you look at the reviews, all of our reviews are legit. If you go onto the Apple Store or to the Google Play Store and look at reviews for the Fozzy Football app, you're going to see nothing but positive reviews. A lot of people choke a bit on the price when they hear it. It's $215 for the complete setup. You get the game board, you get the shuffle puck, you get all 6 defenders. This is a bubble level, so when you take it out to your tailgate, you're going to make sure that it's if you're on like grass or a parking lot, you want to make sure that it's roughly level. You get the free mobile app, the silicone spray, and actually a microfiber pad to wipe down the surface.
Damn.
All of that for $215. And the game surface is 100% acrylic. It's a 1/8 inch thick, so it's really nice. This is all natural wood. The wooden tray that it comes on, and this basically keeps the puck on the table.
Right.
So all of that for $215. I'm working right now on another version that's going to be a little bit less expensive, but it's American made as it stands.
Right.
And,
yeah. No, the price is not an issue. The price is, I mean, for what consumers are getting, I think that's a great price for it. Steve, I got another question for you. Is there a way that people can customize their board?
Well, so right now there's 2 options of customization. One is to go with the NCAA licensing. The other one, and we've actually had quite a few of these. High school teams are interested in getting boards customized specifically for their school. But with the customization, there's a 5 board minimum. So they're able to order it, but they got to order 5 to get going. And
gotcha. Because I would like to have one with like the 1252 logo on there.
Yeah.
That center field there. That'd be kick ass. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. So again, really quick, give us one more shout out how we can find you. It's Fozzy Football, F-O-Z-Z-Y, not I-E, guys. F-O-Z-Z-Y football.com. Correct, Steve?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be there. Right. We have a chat feature on the website. If you hit that chat button, you get me direct.
All right, that sounds perfect. And we can also find you on Facebook. Are you on the Twitter machine?
We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We also have a shop on Etsy and YouTube. YouTube channel is probably the best place to find instructional videos and things like that.
You guys are all over the place, man. You guys are fantastic. Now, is there an instruction manual for dummies like me that don't know how to play the game?
Right. So if you actually on the app, that's probably one of the nicest things. We got a passcode. Is if you just swipe right, it brings up the rules of the game, and it's got everything in there. Everything's covered.
That's fantastic. You got the whole 9 there. You got even like the Trekkin like the Trekkin football theme music behind it too, which is excellent.
That's right.
Fantastic, man. It's fantastic. Steve, it was a pleasure having you on here again. Give us one more time before we cut you loose. How do we find you?
www.fozzyfootball.com. And then same thing, Fozzy Football on any of the social media platforms. You're going to find
excellent. Excellent. Steve, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for coming on the show and showing us how to play your game, man, because I can't wait to play it. It's going to be so much fun.
Awesome. I hope you have fun, man.
I will do, man. Steve, you take care.
All right, great. Thanks, man.
All right, guys, Fozzy Football. Listen, this game is awesome. A couple of my buddies have been playing this game for the last couple of weeks, sitting there messing around with, dicking around with this thing, and it looks so kick-ass. It looks like a lot of fun. I like little tailgating games, guys. It's a lot of fun to sit there and mess around. I like sitting there having a few beers, getting laughs in with my buddies, having a few drinks, playing something that, you're competitive, but you're not too competitive, but you still want to kick their ass at it. This is the game that you got to buy. And it's at a perfect price. Like you said, it's American-made, all handmade wood. Nice. You get a spray, a cloth to clean it up. You get the pucks, the 3 defenders. That's what I want to play the real game. I want to play the game with the 3 defenders where I can block everybody's ass and throwing a 60-yard pass on me, 16-yard pass. See, his daughter was whipping his ass in that game, which you guys didn't see. I saw it. You guys watched the YouTube, and you guys can see it yourself. He was whipping that. She was whipping that ass. That's the owner. His daughter whipping the creator of the game's butt in his own game. That's something. That's something. All right, guys. Really quick, we're going to take one more quick break, and we will be back for the end of tonight's show. Don't forget, my last subject of the night is today's events in sports history. Today in sports history. We're going to take one more quick little break, and we will be right back for you guys. You guys stay there.
Honey, will you marry me?
Yes, yes, yes!
Let's get out of here.
Come to Indiana's premier venue. Come to the farm. Come see all the wildlife. Come to White Oak Farm Venue in Michigan City, Indiana.
Come to our 80-acre sanctuary right off I-94 in Michigan City, Indiana.
Come see all we have to offer, from 2 brand new Amish-built barns with climate control.
Come see the ponds with beautiful waterfall, meadows and wildflowers, and so much more.
Come see our secluded venue. After you enter our private road, you'll be in your own world away from it all, with outdoor ceremony spaces, wood-fired pizza ovens, and lots of fresh air.
Come enjoy Northwest Indiana's premier wedding venue, where you gather with your family and friends. Stretch your legs and enjoy the most memorable day of your life.
Visit White Oak Farm Venue at whiteoakfarmvenue.com or on Facebook/Instagram.
All right, guys, and we are back, and I'm happy to be back. And today was a great show, man. Again, I want to give thanks before we get into today in sports history to the guests that we had on tonight. Again, Lester Wiltfong from Windy City Gridiron, Steve Braun from Fozzy Football. What an amazing game he has. If you guys aren't buying it, you guys should buy it. And to get into it, guys, here we go. Our last little segment of the night. It is Today in Sports History. Sports history, there are records that are made to stand the test of time, and there are records that are meant to be broken. From hits, home runs, wins, and steals, to goals and assists and gold medals, passing yards, touchdowns, to receptions, dunks, points, rebounds, all with the same ultimate goal. That ultimate goal is being a winner and being a champion. This is Today in Sports History. All right, everybody, we're back. We got some really good ones today in sports history. On this day, February 2nd, all throughout history, there's been a lot of momentous events that have happened. Today, February 2nd, in 1876, the National League was formed at the Grand Central Hotel in New York City, with teams in Boston, Chicago, Cincinnati, Hartford, Louisville, New York, Philadelphia, and St. Louis. This one is absolutely crazy. Today, February 2nd, in 1892, the longest boccia match under modern rules went 77 rounds in Namoki, Illinois, between Harry Sharp and Frank Crosby. That is ridiculous. Can you imagine going 77 rounds with somebody? Oh my goodness. Today in 1943, the Cubs returned to the original uniform after experimenting with a vest. Good job, Cubs. That's a good job. In 1949, on today's date, golfing chap Ben Hogan was seriously injured in an auto accident. That would suck. In 1959, Vince Lombardi signs a 5-year contract to coach the NFL's Green Bay Packers. I hate Vince Lombardi, but the guy is awesome. This one is absolutely unbelievable. In 1970, on February 2nd, Pistol Pete Maravich becomes the first to score 3,000 points in college basketball. That is unreal. That's crazy. In 1975, U.S. Female Figure Skating Championship was won by Dorothy Hamill. Let's see. Here's another good one. In 1986, the NFL Pro Bowl, Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii. The NFC beats the AFC 28-24, with the MVP, the most valuable player, being Phil Simms, the New York Giants quarterback. Pretty cool. In 1987, Kansas City Royals pitcher Dennis Leonard becomes a 3-time 20-game winner and retires. He was a 3-time 20-game winner, guys. That's pretty amazing. Not a lot of guys have done that. Another one that's pretty cool. In 1997, Scotty Bowman becomes the first NHL head coach to win 1,000 games. Scotty Bowman, unbelievable head coach for the Detroit Red Wings. Unbelievable. You guys can hear the plows go by. Pretty crazy. There's another one that was really cool here that I really liked. In 2012 NHL, player Sam Gagner becomes the first player to score 8 points in one game for the Edmonton Oilers against the Chicago Blackhawks since 1989. Ugh. So it was a long year drought. I don't even know how old I was in 2012. And then in 2020, Super Bowl, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida, Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers 31-20 with the MVP Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs' first Super Bowl victory in 50 years. And that is today in sports history, guys. It was a great time hanging out with you guys tonight. I really do appreciate you guys chiming in with me. All the guys in the chat rooms between Adam and Roger Shue and Troy Polamalu. You guys are amazing. Paul chiming in, Tim chiming in. Who else chimed in? A bunch of all you guys. Pig Dog, Facebook, JB chimed in, Alan chimed in. All you guys chimed in. There's so many to name, I can't even scroll through them all. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chiming in tonight. It was a great show. Again, I want to give thanks to Lester Wiltfong from the Windy City Gridiron. And again, Steve Braun over at Fozzy Football showing us his new game that you guys got to buy because I can't wait to get mine. And then thank you again to all of our amazing sponsors here at 1252. The Jonathan Darren team over at Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. We have Paul at Nick and Ivy Brewing Company in Lockport. Susie Sheehan with the Fat Mike Markdown. Go save yourself on some car insurance, guys. She'll help you out. She's awesome. White Oak Farm Venue, Berardi Law, August Doozer, the Cupcakery Bakery, which has the best little sweets around. I'm telling you, they're all amazing. And guys, make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of the week. We got a great rest of the week. We got Bear Fans with a Brain coming on tomorrow, which I can't wait. My guy Alan hosts that between 1252 and Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. Make sure you guys are watching that. On Friday, we are back and in better action with Harry the Greek. Is he betting on the Pro Bowl? Is he really betting on the Pro Bowl? If he is, he's an absolute delinquent. Let me tell you that much. And then on Saturday night, we got Mike with Mike Hughes with Mike on the mic. Sunday, we are back with David Schuster in the start of the week again. On Monday, Fred Hubner back with Hubes, Views, and Brews. Make sure you chime into all those shows. Make sure you follow us at 1252 Sports Chicago, 1252 Sports Entertainment. Find us all over Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, the whole nine. We are there. So, yeah. On that note, guys, I'm out of here. It's time for me to go to bed. I got to wake up early in the morning. I am out of here. Make sure you guys tune in next week as I will be here again. And have a happy week, everybody. Take care. Thank you for listening to 1252 Sports Chicago.